All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about the signature assignment for Counseling 5053. So in this one, you're going to be doing a mock session, and it's going to have several other kind of smaller assignments attached to it. So I will be assigning you a case study, so I will be emailing that to you, and you're going to find a pretend client. It cannot be a family member or a significant other or a child, cannot be a minor. And they need to agree to be assessed and will role play their assigned case study. So if you, depending on, what case study you're assigned, your pretend person, your volunteer does not have to match the cultural identifiers. So for example, if they're Black, you do not have to find a Black volunteer, as long as they're playing the part as it's described. Then you're going to pick from the assessments I have listed in Canvas. Once selecting that appropriate assessment, you'll administer that with the client, score it, and interpret that assessment with that pretend client. So as a part of your session, you need to be delivering the assessment, so explaining it. You don't have to score it on camera. You can pause the recording for that, but you need to be interpreting it with the client. So you need to be utilizing those counseling skills as outlined in the session video rubric. So you will be graded for, of course, me being able to see and hear both you and the client, that you administered an appropriate assessment for that case study, that you scored it appropriately, and that you interpreted it appropriately, still utilizing those basic counseling skills. From there, you'll then be doing these other pieces as outlined. So you're going to turn in a case conceptualization. So your case conceptualization is going to cover all of these factors. So some of this information may not have been provided to you in your case. So it's up to you if you would just say NA, or if you would just say you can make it up and say this is what your client told you during the intake. A piece of the case conceptualization will be the treatment plan, but you're going to provide that in a separate Dropbox because it's easier for me to give you feedback kind of separately on the case conceptualization and the treatment plan. So you're going to see the rubrics that are associated. In your treatment plan, you need to have one problem statement listed. You need to have 3 attainable and measurable goals. If you are not familiar with SMART goals, I do grade very seriously on SMART goals. You cannot just say reduce someone's depression. You need to say by how much, by when. So it needs to be specific and measurable. And then you need to have 3 short-term objective with interventions for each goal. Okay? So 3 objectives for each goal. So 3, 6, 9. So you should have 9 objectives at the end of this. Throughout all of them, you should be integrating family, social network, community systems, as well as in potential referrals. You'll see you get points for each of those. And then last but not least, you're going to reflect on your interpretation critique, okay? So this is going to happen within a discussion board. So you're going to get to kind of read about your peers as well as process kind of your reflections with your peers. So in here, you're going to identify what your session goals were, what was the rationale for the specific assessment you chose for that case and that case conceptualization. How did did you score the person accurately? So I will need a copy of the scored assessment. What were your strengths within your role play video? And then what were some areas for growth? So this is an opportunity for you to assess kind of your strengths and areas of improvement. So it's one big assignment with lots of little pieces to it. So you'll see kind of throughout the to-do list when those are due. So jump on the question answer discussion board if you have any questions about this. You will also find, and they're required to watch for participation points, but you'll get to watch some role play videos of me and Dr. Hughes role playing doing some of these assessments with mock clients as well. So you kind of get an idea of what we're asking you to do in your mock session.